Okay, we are in extremely esteemed company, so it's time to felicitate and acknowledge the people who are here. Before I was starting, I was reflecting that confluences are very holy places in our culture, where different streams meet. And this is a very beautiful confluence, the confluence of Samaj, Sarkar and Bazaar. And Mumbai First really also started with the dream of bringing these three forces together for the city, and I think it is us in this space living this particular dream. So, without too much ado, I would first like to welcome Shri Manu Kumar Srivastav. Satish ji, if you can come in and welcome Shri Manu Kumar Srivastav ji. I'll introduce him right away. Shri Manu Kumar Srivastav, Chief Commissioner for the Right to Service in Mumbai, a veteran civil servant with over 36 years of experience. He's also been the Chief Secretary of Maharashtra, the Additional Chief Secretary of the Home Department. He's led key infrastructure projects, policy initiatives, and transformed urban governance with efficiently managed civic services in Mumbai and Nagpur. He currently oversees the Maharashtra Right to Public Services Act 2015. Welcome, Shri Manu Srivastav ji. Thank you for joining us. Next, we'd like to welcome Shri Baldev Singh ji. Again, I request a welcome to Shri Baldev Singh ji, an accomplished IAS officer from the Maharashtra cadre, a distinguished career spanning 3 decades since his allotment in 1989. He is also multifaceted, an MBA in Finance and Marketing, a graduate degree in Economics. He's held numerous high-profile positions, including Additional Chief Secretary for Industries and Mining, Chief Electoral Officer, and Development Commissioner for the West Zone. Currently serving as the State Commissioner for the Right to Services since May 2023. Thank you, Baldev ji, and welcome. And I want to felicitate Shri Dilip Shinde ji, who is also with us, retired IAS officer who currently serves as the State Commissioner for Right to Services in Pune Division, holds degrees in BSc, LLM, DLL, and MA. His notable positions include Joint Managing Director at Maharashtra Film, Stage and Cultural Development Corporation, Director of Cultural Affairs and Tourism, and Additional Chief Electoral Officer for Maharashtra. He's contributed extensively to Marathi journalism, authored several books, and has also been instrumental in promoting Maharashtra's cultural heritage and electoral transparency. Welcome, sir, and thank you for joining us. I want to also felicitate and welcome Shri Prakash Rani ji, the founder and MD of ABM Knowledgeware. Really a visionary in this space, somebody who's pioneered e-governance. He's the managing director of ABM Knowledgeware, and he's really transformed, his company is transformed from a local entity to a pan-India governance powerhouse. 1,500 urban local bodies are currently powered in 30 plus smart cities. Been honored as the most promising business leaders of Asia by the Economic Times and the recipient of the CEO's Choice recognition. Dedication to advancing digital governance is unbelievable, and thank you, sir. Thank you for being here, and a perfect occasion to have you. On the stage are also 2 people who've been stewarding Mumbai First for an extremely long time and really instrumental in bringing all these forces together. I want to first acknowledge the presence of Shri Narendra Nair ji, the chairman of Mumbai First. Thank you so much for joining us. He believes in the dictum of think local and act global. He has an extremely busy schedule as the founder and chief executive of Concast India, the director of several other companies, but he promotes several other social and business initiatives. He's been actively and passionately involved with the Mumbai Transformation Program, which is spearheaded by the Honorable Chief Minister. As the chairman of Mumbai First, he was instrumental in arranging a study with McKinsey on how Mumbai could be transformed into a world-class city. He's also been a part of several initiatives, including the Citizens Action Group, of which the Chief Minister is the chairman and Narendra ji is the vice chairman. He is also an active member of the Empowered Committee headed by the Chief Secretary to monitor various ongoing projects in Mumbai. Thank you so much, sir, for holding and bringing your energy to this space. Very welcome. And finally, I want to acknowledge on stage the moving spirit behind Mumbai Happenings series, Shri Sanjay Ubadiji, who is the Executive Board Member of Mumbai First. Multifaceted Director of Partnership at Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Managing Director in the past and CEO of Tata Realty. He's held several key positions in the government, a 31-year career. He's been the Secretary to the government for Mumbai's development. And yeah, a long list with Sanjay, I can kind of just say that he's really a combination of a management plus government plus a civil society person. So Sanjay, thank you for conceptualizing this and making this happen. Okay, great. So let's begin with setting the context. What is this conversation about? And yeah.
Recognize the attendance of myself also as Shobhut Shah, Vice President of Bombay Management Association. We are collaborating with you
Sure.
all the events also. We try to get more faculties and more campaigns also.
Sure.
And I'm closely connected with our chairman. I'm technically communicating with perfect lawyer and Vice President of BMA. Next month I'm taking over the president and we are happy with connecting with the perfect lawyer. He's my client and all the companies are being literally and commercially and supply to
Thank you so much. Thank you, Pramodji. And just want to acknowledge your presence.
I'm personal chairman of the Institute of Community Development.
Sure. So thank you so much for sharing, and want to acknowledge BMA also as partners. Yes. I actually also, I mean, this is a great occasion to also acknowledge various people in the audience here who are all veteran activists, who are people who've been in this field for years together and deeply concerned. So also mass acknowledgement, but also special to so many of you who are familiar faces and people who dedicated their lives. So just want to acknowledge the audience also for being here and giving their time and energy to the city. So thank you for that. Let's begin with the context setting. Why are we here? And I would like to invite Shri Prakash Raneji to get us started, if possible, with the context of this event, what brings us here, and just give us a broader context. He's also a supporter of this event and making this happen. So over to Shri Prakash Raneji.
Good evening, everybody. First and foremost, thank you, Sanjay, for inviting me here to share my thoughts on digital governance. So I'm going to speak about digital governance. The context obviously will be set by the veteran sitting here. So I'm not going to set the context as expected. It will be set by the veteran sitting on the dais. I'll speak about a little bit about digital governance. We have been in this field for the last 25 years, doing implementation of e-government across the country. We have been doing that for earning the bread for our livelihood and sometimes a pat of butter also. As we really see, the digital technologies have been evolving significantly when it comes to administrative systems. Naturally, there are some emerging IT issues. Issues like privacy, issues like security, issues like ethical use of artificial intelligence, as well as machine learning. Fortunately, all those who are concerned with these subjects have been dealing with this subject with the requisite seriousness and priority. So we hope that these issues will be tackled appropriately and suitable framework of regulation will be implemented without compromising on the innovation part of it. When it comes to urban local bodies, Mumbai first being focusing on one of the busiest metropolis in the world, Mumbai. When it comes to urban local bodies and when you implement digital technologies, there ought to be normally two objectives to achieve. The first being the citizens, the improvement of the citizen participation, citizen services and overall citizen satisfaction. And the second being self-sustenance. Self-sustenance by cost optimization and by effective revenue mobilization. Now these are normally the objectives when we implement digital technologies into any urban local bodies. Now let's look at some municipal bodies which you might have come across, not only Mumbai, but they have been implementing WhatsApp integrated services, they have been integrating chatbots. There are some forward-looking urban local bodies who have implemented even blockchain. There are not many use cases, but there are some cases where you find blockchain being implemented. You also find implementation of artificial intelligence. We have been till recently associated with Mumbai Municipal Corporation. We find Mumbai Municipal Corporation has a very strong foundation of digital governance, and they can now focus on improving the user experience on one hand, and at the same time, they can now focus on use of artificial intelligence and predictive analytics for mobilization of revenue and cost optimization. You have seen cities like New York, they have been selling their data sets, they're anonymized, they are selling their data sets to private sector and research organization for generating revenue. It also fosters innovation. Now, BMC, for example, can take a vision that they can generate 5% of their budgeted revenues by monetizing their data in next 3 years, or reach 20% of the budgeted revenue at the end of the decade purely by data monetization. Now, that is the state where BMC is today. There are several examples which we can see. In cities like Dubai, which is a fairly near home example, they have implemented in artificial intelligence in road and traffic authority. There are very tangible benefits in terms of smoother flow of traffic. There are lesser accidents. They have used the sensor-based integration of IoT technologies, and they can actually real-time basis dynamically monitor their signaling system also. Then there are some more examples in Dubai as well as some of the European countries where blockchain is implemented for secure recording of the land deals, property deals as well as lease rentals. Now these in turn are integrated with concerned areas like water authorities, energy authorities, or even telecommunication systems. So if you really see the use of artificial intelligence, machine learning is happening elsewhere, and very soon we'll be having it there. But this is not to say there are no challenges of implementation of digital technology in government. There are definitely challenges. It is not as easy as we find it in the private sector. Many of the challenges are indeed valid and justified. We hope this situation will change as we go forward. Actually, e-governance is supposed to drive the system. So in return, the system has to drive e-governance. That's not happening. So the e-governance still is being driven by individuals, those who have the passion, those who have the capability to take the e-governance project to the logical end. Thank you once again, and wishing us all the best in our journey for a digitally empowered landscape of governance. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prakash Naik. He's been a pioneer in introducing digital governance in Maharashtra. So it's only fitting that he set the context today. But I think now I'm going to request Mr. Manu Kumar Srivastava to make the opening presentation. But the reason why we are so excited actually to host this conference today is because of the plight of the people. You know, mostly whenever anybody has any service that they want from the government, they're first of all very reluctant. Government से कुछ होता ही नहीं. I mean, there's a very cynical view of this कि किसी को अगर government office में जाना है कुछ चाहिए तो bribe देने के बजाय कुछ होता नहीं है. We don't get access to services. We are harassed. We are told that you get us this document, and once you submit those documents, then we are told that you come on some other day. So there are lots of harassments that happens. That's the experience of the people. So what really I think this act has done is to create a very transparent mechanism for people to get access to services without paying bribes, without getting the services delayed, and by actually making the governance structure overall a little more efficient. So what we are really looking for is how exactly that act does that. What is the role of the commission? How does commission help the citizens access the services better? What recourse do the citizens have in case they don't get services? That is really what we are hoping that we learn from from this session today. So with that, I'm going to request Mr. Manu Kumar Srivastava to make the opening presentation. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks.
Also, at the end of it, one just anecdotally, I'm just going to ask you later. How do you get building permissions without paying bribes in the city?
What is this? What all we have on next week? एक पे तो मिलता ही है next week.
Good evening.
Good evening.
First of all, let me begin by thanking Mumbai First, Mr. Nair, Mr. Wade for inviting us and giving us this opportunity to share with you what we know about the Act and the Commission. This Act was made in 2015. Almost 9 years have elapsed, and yet there is tremendous amount of lack of awareness about this act. When I took over as the Chief Commissioner for Right to Service, people came to me and they started asking me, "कि साहब आप करते क्या हो?" So this is the state of affairs, and if I were to ask the august audience that is sitting in front of me as to how many of you were already aware of the act, I think the response will be pretty much similar. So not many know about that. People confuse us with RTI. People think that we are somewhat similar to RTI. So over next 20 odd slides, we would like to give you an overview of the act, the commission, and the portal through which most of these services are rendered. So I will be basically dealing with the first part, that is the Act and the Commission. My colleague Baldev will be talking about the portal through which the services are rendered, and then my other colleague Mr. Dilip Shinde will be showing you an actual demo of how to actually access the portal and secure services. So without further ado, I'll start my presentation. The government of Maharashtra actually guaranteed services to its citizens through an ordinance which was promulgated on 28th of April 2015. It was called Maharashtra Right to Public Services Ordinance 2015. This act was subsequently replaced by the Maharashtra Right to Public Services Act 2015, which was published in the Government Gazette on 21st of August 2015, but was made effective with effect from 28th of April only. The objectives of this act are very clear. The idea is to bring in transparency, accountability, timeliness, efficiency in the delivery system. And to achieve this, it lays emphasis on use of IT. For many of us, government actually is like a black box. We don't know what is inside it. So people don't know whom to approach for getting various services. So this act tries to demystify this, bring in transparency in the functioning of the government, at the same time make it more efficient, more timely, and thereby improve its efficiency. I'll first give you an overview of the Act. This Act, first of all, mandates to every public authority to notify the public services being rendered by it, along with details of the stipulated time, the designated officer, the first appellate authority, the second appellate authority, etc. So, first of all, every public authority is now mandated to do this thing within a period of 3 months from the commencement of the Act, and thereafter from time to time. So I am very happy to share with you that so far close to 662 services have been notified pursuant to this provision. The Act thereafter goes a step further and says that every eligible person shall have a right to obtain public services which are thus notified within the stipulated time. So this is the first time the Act actually guarantees this right to citizens. It says that subject to necessary compliances, every eligible person will have a right to get these services within stipulated time. It also creates a corresponding obligation on the designated officers that they shall deliver these services within stipulated time. So this is done through Section 4, and it creates a right, at the same time creates a corresponding obligation. So any eligible person can apply to the designated officer for obtaining any notified public service, and once he applies, his application has to be acknowledged and he has to be given a unique application number, and he has to be told about the stipulated time within which he can expect the delivery of service. And using this unique application number, the citizen can track his application, the status of his application. Now, because of the Act, every designated officer is now required to dispose of the application within the stipulated time. Now, disposal may result in delivery of service or may also result in rejection of service. But in case there is rejection of service, then the reasons for rejection of service have to be communicated in writing. And second thing is, the applicant has to be told that he can have recourse to the appeal mechanism. He has to be told about the name and address of the appellate authority and the time limit within which he can file his appeal. So much of transparency has been brought in because of this Act. The person whose application is rejected or whose application is not disposed of within time can file first appeal before the first appellate authority. This appeal can be filed within 30 days of the rejection of the application or immediately after the expiry of the stipulated period. If the person is not happy with the decision of the first appellate authority, he can actually file the second appeal. And in case he is not happy with the decision of the second appellate authority, then he can file third appeal before the commission, that is before us. So there are 3 levels of appeals which are provided under the Act. If the designated officer fails to provide service without reasonable and sufficient cause, then he can be penalized. He can be penalized to the extent of 5,000 rupees. That is the maximum punishment currently available. This amount can be enhanced by the government by publishing a notification in the Gazette. So this is the current maximum level of punishment per case. And once a person is fined like this, then he is liable to pay this amount within 30 days, failing which the amount shall be deducted from his salary. if a designated officer persistently defaults, then there is a provision to start disciplinary proceedings against him. So, the person has to be very careful while dealing with applications. Now, default also has been defined in the Act. If more than 10% cases result in default, then such designated officer is regarded as a persistent defaulter. And in that case, he is liable for disciplinary action. Public authorities have also been asked under the Act to reduce the compliance burden on citizens. As far as possible, we should try to minimize the affidavits, the certificates, and the documents that we seek from the citizens. Similarly, while on one hand the Act provides for punishment to the defaulting designated officer, it also provides for reward to designated officers who perform their duties without any default throughout the year. So if a designated officer performs his duties without any default throughout the year, then he can be given a cash reward also, apart from a glowing mention in his confidential record. The Act also provides for taking action against people who try to get services by submitting false documents or by submitting false information. So it's a very balanced kind of act. Now, under this act, there is provision for a multi-member commission. So accordingly, on 30th of July 2016, the government of Maharashtra notified the setting up of the Maharashtra State Commission for Right to Service. The first commissioner was appointed on 1st of March 2017, and subsequently for all the 6 divisions, 6 divisional RTS commissioners were appointed. So now the commission consists of 7 commissioners, 1 chief commissioner and 6 divisional commissioners. This is the organogram of the commission. There is State Chief Commissioner, Right to Service, who is supposed to be the in charge of the entire commission, and he is assisted by 6 division level RTS commissioners. All these commissioners actually have the necessary staff working under them. Now this commission has been vested with a number of powers. As I explained to you earlier, the commission actually can hear and decide the third appeals which are filed. It can also recommend departmental inquiry against any designated officer who defaults or any appellate authority who has failed to discharge duties properly. It can also sue motu, take cognizance of any failure to deliver public services. So even if there is a press item which appears, the commission can take cognizance of such failure which is reported. The commissioners are also expected to carry out inspections of offices which are entrusted with the delivery of public services, so as to ensure that these officers who are working in these offices are on their toes. The commission is also expected to make recommendations to government regarding changes in procedures for delivery of public services. So we are currently trying to do this. We are trying to do BPR of various notified services and try to explore the possibility of simplifying the process. We are trying to explore whether we can cut down the levels, whether we can cut down the documentation, or we can cut down the time. So this is what we are trying to do, and accordingly we will make recommendations to the government. Similarly, the commission is also expected to recommend steps to be taken by public authorities for efficient delivery of public services. Needless to say, commission is also responsible for monitoring delivery of public services by public authorities and evaluate their performance, which is to be reported in its annual report, which the Commission submits to the legislature every year. And Commission, for discharging all these functions, has been vested with the powers of civil court. So Commission has been sufficiently empowered in this regard. Having spoken about the Commission, let me now talk about the structure of authorities under the Act. So there are 4 authorities under the Act. First is designated officer. Designated officer is primarily responsible for delivery of service. For each service, there is a corresponding designated officer. And under section 3 of the Act, the public authorities are supposed to notify to public the services being rendered by them, being given by them, and the corresponding designated officers, the first appellate authorities and the second appellate authorities. So designated officer is extremely important because he is responsible for timely delivery of services. Second is the first appellate authority. The second is first appellate authority. The third is second appellate authority. These appellate authorities actually have a very crucial role because in case of any failure on the part of the designated officer to deliver services on time, they step in and they give justice. And lastly, there is the concerned State Commissioner for Right to Service, who is the third and the final appellate authority. Now, these are the functions of the designated officer. The citizen applies to the designated officer for availing of the service. He can either provide service within stipulated time or he can reject the application. But in either case, he has to do it within the stipulated period of time. And in case he rejects, he has to give reasons for rejection. And he has to also inform the applicant about the availability of appeal, number 1, and the period during which this appeal can be filed. Where to file appeal? So the appeal can be filed with the first appellate authority in the first instance, and thereafter with the second appellate authority, and lastly before the third appellate authority, that is before the Maharashtra State Right to Service Commission. The first appellate authority actually can be approached immediately after the expiry of the stipulated period for delivery of service. So if somebody applies for a service and he does not hear from the designated officer within the stipulated time, then he can immediately file appeal before the appellate authority. Otherwise, the appeal can be filed within 30 days of the order of rejection of the application by the designated officer. This period of 30 days can be further extended to 90 days if there are sufficient reasons. And the appellate authority can either accept the appeal and direct the designated officer to provide the service, or reject the appeal, or impose penalty on the designated officer for willful default. As far as the second appellate authority is concerned, the second appeal can be filed within 30 days of the receipt of the order of the first appellate authority, or after 45 days of filing of the appeal to the first appellate authority, where the appellant does not receive any order from the first appellate authority. This period of 45 days and 30 days can be extended to 90 days if there are sufficient reasons. Now the second appellate authority also can accept the appeal and direct to provide the service, or reject the appeal, or confirm or vary the penalty for willful default. And lastly, the third appellate authority, that is the Commission, can be approached by the eligible person or the designated officer who is aggrieved by the order of the second appellate authority, and he can file an appeal before the Commission within a period of 60 days from the date of receipt of such order. The Commission may impose penalty on the designated officer or on the first appellate authority, or vary or cancel the penalty. So Commission has vast powers in this regard, and Commission has to decide such cases within 90 days. So this is the broad structure of the Act. So Act brings in lot of transparency in the functioning and also tries to establish accountability on various officers for performance of duty, and not only performance of duty but timely performance of duty. So I'm very happy to share with you that this act has been now in existence for almost 9 years, and 600 plus services have been notified under the act. The act lays a lot of emphasis on delivery of these services through electronic medium, and I'm very happy to share that Government of Maharashtra has developed a unified service portal for this purpose, which is called Aple Sarkar Service Portal, and this service portal provides most of the notified services, not all. Some of the services are provided by the portals, and there are some services which are still offline, which are not yet online. So I will invite my colleague Baldev to talk about the portal, and he'll take you through the various details of the portal. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And, you have very effectively brought out all the legal provisions which are existing in the Right to Service Act. So I will deal with the notified services and the delivery channels through which the services are provided. As Manu sir has mentioned, we have 662 notified services. Just to take a minute on what is the notified service, in fact, he has already explained. Each department has citizen mandate, and they have also published citizen charters. So those citizen related services which have an interface with the citizen or which are part of the delivery mechanism, they are the one which go through the process of notification. Before the department notifies, they look into what are the timelines required to provide their services, what are the requisite fees to be charged from the citizen. Many are legal fees, so their citizens are supposed to pay. What is the service delivery fee which can be charged from them? What should be the decision-making layer? How many decision steps should be there so that the stipulated time frame can be complied with? So these are the kind of business process re-engineering which each department do before they notify the service. So citizen can avail these services through different channels. We have a mobile application also, which is currently available for the Android users. For the iOS users or the Apple phone people, the service is still under development, and it will be very soon made available, and they can also do the same. We have a digital platform which Sir has mentioned, which is known by the name of Aple Sarkar portal. Now, Aple Sarkar portal has 4 verticals. One of those verticals deals with the right to services. The other 3 are related to RTI or public grievance or the Lok Shahid. Out of 662 notified services, currently 453 services are available on this portal. A citizen can directly go to the portal, do the registration, get a password and a user ID, and can directly apply to the service from there and can avail the service. That is one channel available. The other channel is through the mobile phone which I mentioned, and which is available for the Android users currently. And the third is the Aple Sarkar Seva Kendras, which we have on the length and breadth of the state. We have those Aple Sarkar Seva Kendras which are set up by the various agencies. One of those Aple Sarkar Kendras are set up as common service centers, which are with the help of the MahaIT and also with the Government of India linkage. The other are the Aple Sarkar Seva Kendra, which are in each Gram Panchayat in each district. The third are known as Aple Sarkar Seva Kendra, Setu Kendra, which are set up in most of the district headquarters and the Talpa headquarters. The total number of such Appale Sarkar Seva Kendra we have in the state are around 40,280. And as of today, in fact till yesterday, the direct registered user with the digital portal Appale Sarkar is more than 91 lakhs. So they are availing those services. After a citizen applies for, he can track that service, what is the progress, and a citizen can also see and locate which one is the Appale Sarkar Kendra which is closest to him, and he can physically go there, and if he doesn't have a phone of his own or a laptop or iPad of his own, he can avail those services through those centers where there is a VLE, the village level enterprise, who help them to access that service, file an application on their behalf, and that Seva Kendra charge them 20 rupees, which is the service fee they charge, in addition to the fee which the departmental might have prescribed. So that is what the citizen have to pay, 20 rupees. Now, the digital flow chart of availing the service is that the applicant once files the appeal, he need to upload the requisite documents which are prescribed for each service by the concerned department. And once he uploads the document, it goes to the designated officer. The designated officer, after verifying the documents and the eligibility of the person, can approve and deliver the service within the stipulated time frame, or he can reject the service within the stipulated time frame. If he goes beyond that, then of course what has been explained earlier, there is a legal provision where you can file a appeal with the first applicant. So this is the flow of the application and the back-end process through the designated officer, and then availing the service. And of course, all the certificates are issued through the digital signatures, and there is no physical interface. As of today, 27 government departments of the state government have notified 662 services. And so far, from the beginning of the Act, from 1st October 2015 to 11th June 2024, we have received total 16 crore application, more than 16 crore application, and more than 15 crore 38 lakh applications are disposed. So the disposal rate is quite good, and normally when we monitor department wise, we see that more than 90% of the services are delivered within the stipulated time frame. There might be delay in the remaining 10% either because the documents were incomplete, or there might be some other reasons. These are the number of services by each department. We have tried to show, though it's very jumbled up because of the number of departments and the services, but you can have just a feel of it. This department, and they have notified. Notified 18 services, then transport has 14, similar to that, most of the departments have notified various services. Now one more thing, this is not only citizen interface, even the D2C services are part of this, like the labor department, industry department, or the boilers department. Many of their services which are availed by the business unit, they are also notified and they can also be availed. They were part of the ease of doing business, but they have been brought under the right to services as well. So that's where I will stop, and now my colleague Dilip Shinde will take over, and he will give you the live demo of how the services can be availed. Thank you.
Thank you. So before Mr. Shinde starts, for those who are sitting here, what kind of services do we really require? For example, particularly when you're going to college, you need sometimes a domicile certificate. You sometimes need the income certificate. You sometimes need a caste certificate. Sometimes you need a ration card. Sometimes you need for your shop, you need a license. Yes.
For example, for 20 years, I have not done my booking. Since I was 18, I was living correctly. I shifted to Women. I changed 7 homes. But there's no ease.
Right, yeah. So we'll come to that. This is a question that you just keep this question. We'll ask this question. They'll answer it. I don't want to answer that. Right. So we'll come to that part. So just to give you a sense, that whatever our day-to-day services that are required for our day-to-day survival, for our day-to-day work, these are the kind of services that are made available through this portal. And there are, as the Commissioner said, there are 662 such services which have been notified by all the departments, and it's your right. So therefore this is called the Right to Services Act. It's your right to get those services. Okay, so no, we'll come to question answers later. I just wanted to get you tuned into this discussion. I'm going to request Mr. Shinde.
Endorses this service.
Sorry?
No brand ambassador in this world endorses this service. Is what you say.
Okay. We'll come to that. So just hold your questions. We request Mr.
Sir,
Shinde
these
to
government
speak.
portals never work.
So we'll come to those questions.
So you have a portal, if it doesn't work, it makes no sense.
We'll come to that part. At the moment, just hold your questions. Just hold your questions. And here we're not really going to be there to complain. What we're going to say, just one second. What is it that needs to be done? I think let's put it in a manner that becomes more constructive, right? So what is it that needs to be done? So we'll come to that part later. But just let's hold on for some time. We'll hear.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, all. We had a synergy part so far. So what is the act, what are the provisions, what is the commission. Now we will see practically how to apply and use the service. So, how to register yourself as a user. Unless you register, you will not be able to log in. So you have to first register and then apply. You can log in our website https Apne Sarkar Online.gov.in. You can Google just Apne Sarkar AAPLE SAR Apne Sarkar. Google will show all the sites. This is the official site of Apne Sarkar. You can visit this site. Now, firstly, you will have to create your user profile. Now, on the home page, you will find a tab for registration. New registration tab is there. You have to just click it. Now, it has two options. Firstly, you can this one time, or you can register yourself permanently. Once you are registered permanently, you can access this site anytime. You can request for any service anytime in your lifetime. So if you go to the option first, you use your mobile phone, they will ask certain details, but OTP will be sent on your mobile just to verify you are the right person. And once the OTP is entered, you get all the details to register yourself. And the second option, you have to fill a few more details. For example, your address proof, your photograph, your mobile number.
Sorry, I'll just interrupt just now. Do you think that everybody out here should in any case have a login ID? Because if they need the service or not, they should in any case create a login ID, right?
Better, yes.
So it doesn't have to be associated with any service.
No, yes.
They should just create a login ID.
Even if you don't require any service right now, you can register yourself as a user. And it is always better to get yourself registered so that you can avail any of the service anytime. And this is applicable on the site, on the your computer or your Apne Sarkar Kendra. Also, you can use your mobile phone to register. On mobile also, you can register yourself as a user. So these are two methods to get yourself registered. Now, after creating your user profile, you have to again go to the home page, enter your user ID, your password, and now as soon as your application starts, you have to click on the district first, which district you belong to, because the service provider, the designated officer will be there to certify or to give you the service. So district you have to select, arrow shows which district you want to get the service. After logging this page, you will get a list of departments on the left side. The left side panel shows the various departments of the government who are providing you the services. So you have to select up. But if you department use this service, for example, you want to domicile certificate, you don't know which department provides. So you have to go to the search option. On the right side there is an arrow. You have to just type there age and domicile certificate. The concerned department will be displayed there. So either you can go to the department or go to the search menu and type whatever document or service you require. In main department, there are some sub-departments, as you know. For example, in home department, you have excise, you have police, or in revenue, there are three sub-departments. So you have to select the sub-department. After selecting, applying for tab. So certified copy of record of rights, currency certificate, caste certificate, domicile certificate. You can just click whichever service, whichever certificate you want. Here, we have shown you age nationality and domicile certificate. You just click on that. You will see a list of documents which are required for this service. You continue person. Fill then the proper application form will be displayed. You have to fill in this form. There are various details like name, then your address, date of birth, mobile number, etc. You have to just fill in this application form. Then click on the save button. Once you save this form, this unique application number is displayed. This is unique number given to each application. So this number is very important. You can check the status of your application once you enter this number. So you have to generate this unique application number. Then there is upload document button. You click on this button. Whatever documents they are required for your service, you have already noticed those documents. You have to upload all these documents. Then click on the confirm. If department has some extra fees, that you will have to pay. You have online payment options available on this portal. You can pay through Mahavallet, net banking, credit card, IMPS, wallet, UPI, Paytm. There are so many options available. So you can click by which mode you want to make the payment. You make the payment. A payment receipt is generated. Hence, your application is submitted to the department. Your fees is paid. Your number is generated. Now you have to just wait for the certificate or service to receive. So this is the flow how you can register yourself and get the service. I try to demonstrate one live application here if possible. Can you just help me? Here's one applicant has applied for income certificate. उत्पन्नाचा दाखल्यासाठी प्रमाणपत्र. So this is live now, online Wi-Fi. So that is portal not working, service not reaching properly, can just be verified. This is live now. Is there any applicant? Who is the applicant? Sister has come here. Yeah, open her. He is the person who is applying for his income certificate. We are trying because he has brought his documents. We could have tried any one of you, but I don't know whether you have your documents with you. So to upload, we will try his case.
So can you follow me?
I'm not interested. I have all his documents. Yeah, someone else has. So he is applying to VLE. As has been told here earlier, you can log in on your phone, on your computer or mobile. But if you don't have internet, if you don't have any mobile application on your mobile, you can contact our VLE. We have 40,000 plus VLEs working in the state. It is one of the VLEs. He has approached the VLE. He has submitted his documents, and now he will be
Documents is required to submit.
for every
In this particular case.
my income certificate, how many? 10 documents required. We are also doing this business process re-engineering. We are asking departments to minimize the number of documents to be submitted which are not required for the service. So that's also going on. But that's all login. So all these DLEs, they are appointed by government only, even though they are private entrepreneurs. DLEs are selected by the collectors. They are under control and supervision of district collector. They are working under collectors. If you don't get any service or if you have any complaints regarding DLEs, you can make a complaint to the commission or to the concerned district collector. So this is the income certificate form. It's just filling it. So that's it. So,
This will get submitted and when you're not in the-
yeah, this will go online to the concerned designated officer in that department. He will verify all the documents and he will sign the certificate and issue the service.
So we can't expect the certificate today.
Maybe it is online, you will get email.
Okay.
Is the stipulated time is mentioned in the against the service?
Yes.
Yes, every service is having stipulated time assigned to that service. That varies from 1 day to 1 month, 1.5 months, whatever.
Mention against the service.
Yeah, for each service there are different.
And what if the application is rejected, the fees are refunded?
No, this is service.
Because the effort involved in processing the application is the same. Whether we come to the conclusion of acceptance or rejection, the effort involved is the same. So platform fee is not refunded.
But
Do we
it
have
could
to go to
be,
this state tender only, or we can go to like, for RBI we go to PIO, so accordingly, can we go to some designated officer in the department and submit the application?
You can go to the portal directly if you are IT savvy, and if you are not IT savvy, then you can go to the VLE, village level entrepreneur. So he will, on your behalf, access the portal and actually upload your application.
We can't go directly to the department and submit the application.
That is the precise idea. You are not supposed to meet anybody.
Incidentally, each district has those kiosks which we were talking about, the Setu Kendra. You can access the kiosk in that office and apply from there. And there are people who can assist you over there.
So the interface with the official is reduced because the complaints are that whenever you go, then there is something that people ask for, and because of which the services get delayed. The intention here is to reduce that interface. So while this is going on, we are going to start with questions. So there were two questions that already got raised. So I'm just going to touch upon those. The first one was you saying that for the last several years we've been trying to get your name registered voters ID. So I'm going to request him to clarify what is within the purview of the commission, what is not, and what is within the purview of the act.
First of all, let me clarify one thing. The commission is a watchdog on behalf of citizens. The commission does not provide service. The commissioner ensures that the designated officers provide service. And in case there is any default on their part, then they are punished. Now, having said this, the commission actually gets jurisdiction to look into a particular complaint only if the particular service happens to be a notified public service. Now, for example, if change of name from one part of the voter list to another part is not notified as a public service, then the commission will not be in a position to help you. But the moment it is notified as a public service, then we can definitely intervene.
Actually, the voter list or the change of name in the voter list or change of address in the voter list or location, that is within the purview of the CO elections and the ECI. They have a separate portal, they have prescribed formats, though it's not part of the RTS with mandate is with us. You can apply there and it can definitely help you in getting that service, because similar to you, I had applied for a service where I wanted the smart card for the elections. So once I applied and uploaded the picture, I think it took 15 days, but the smart card came to your home like a passport. So that is the service they provide. They're quite quick, but I don't know in your case, whether you access the portal, you applied for the particular service, change of name, change of address, it can be definitely provided. So you can go to the
Just a moment, sorry. The form has been filled and we have already sent the form, uploaded the form. We are just uploading the documents, if you see live. So these are the forms required, documents required, we are uploading all the documents.
The size of the document, does it have to be, do the documents, do they have to be compressed? Or do they have to be certain size?
2 MB size.
Each document.
2 MB is the size. You can upload.
These appeals also are to be filed online, appeals for submission.
Yes.
Yeah.
Appeals are so online, right?
Yes, earlier there was no system for filing appeals online, but now recently we have developed a system under which you can file appeals online.
Continue, sir. Please continue. They are uploading the document.
Okay, so the documents are being uploaded, but there's a limit on how big the documents should be. So from what the commissioner said just now, is that not more than 2 MBs should be the size of the document, otherwise the document won't go. So you have to keep that in mind. But let's come to the question that you had asked. At the moment, the electoral voter card is not a part of the designated service, and therefore it cannot be obtained by the right to services commissioners. So One question would be, why is it not the case? Why? What can you do to get it? And I think that's a good question. I think we should certainly. Okay, not necessarily. In fact, things are now happening quite fast. So the other question was about your question was why did
may I get the mic? Whatever. Not working. Fine. Okay. I am loud enough.
Actually, I was talking about the portal because what is my experience is this portal, most of the government portals doesn't operate. I do not know how it is getting open now, but my experience is horrible. You talked about election commission, same thing because MLC election is on. I mean, it is coming shortly. I have also tried to enroll in graduate constituency. So far, I could not do it. So, of course, you said it is not in your purview, so I cannot insist on that. But that is also my experience. And every time I was trying to get in, portal doesn't work. So that is my experience. There were people are clapping also.
Seeing is believing. So I won't like to really say anything beyond this. You have seen how we have uploaded documents in a particular case right now. So the portal does work, and as would be clear from the statistics, more than 16 crore people have applied, and more than 90% of them have actually got services through this portal only. So it will not be factually correct to say that the portal doesn't work. You might have actually had the misfortune of actually accessing it when it was perhaps down, but this portal actually has provided services to more than 15 crore people.
Sir, I got a very good. So I got a very good answer. That portal doesn't like me.
So just 1 second. I think it's important to convey that maybe I think the commission should also probably just check it out from time to time whether it works or not. Some people seem to have had some difficulties, but you might just like to see whether the portal itself is regularly working. But that seems to be the experience, but that's okay. So I think there was one more question at the back over there.
I have the mic, so can I speak?
Okay, you have the mic. You have it. Go ahead. At the moment, anybody who has the mic in their hand can speak.
We have listened that usually all these government departments, they have this citizen charter, they have to put up. Since long, Charity Commissioner doesn't have any citizen charter, they have never put up. I have made so many complaints to each department, even Law and Judiciary Department. So, उसके ऊपर अगर कुछ प्रकाश डाल सके तो please, thank you.
You must have actually seen my presentation where I mentioned the basically broad features of the Act. So the Act does not talk about Citizens Charter. Citizens Charter was actually prepared under an earlier Act, which was enacted in 2005. And
POD.
Yeah, Prevention of Delay.
Yeah.
So that's a different act, and that actually envisages that there should be a citizen charter. But the new act which we spoke about today, 2015 act, it does not talk about citizen charter. It talks about notified services. And Charity Commissioner's office has actually notified some services. If you want to,
I will check that. I will check that definitely.
What those services are?
So citizens charter is not there, but then Charity Commissioner's office has notified certain services.
So now you can go to the Act and see what those services are.
Definitely.
Apply for those services in case you don't get, file an appeal.
The portal also there is a list of notified services.
And this is from there. You can have the list system and just read out what that. You can show it on there. Yeah, you can show it.
This not the service.
Charity Commissioner.
Right.
Law and Judiciary.
Yes, it falls under Law and Judiciary.
Okay.
Okay, so just so you have the mic. Why don't you take the mic so that I can come to you later? But why don't you in the meanwhile?
Yeah, my name is Mohammed Afzal. My name is Mohammed Afzal. I've been in the social field for the last 43 years. I've been trying to propagate many laws I think so. Our country has got one of the finest law in place, but what I basically observe, it is grossly underused. Now, underused. Because what happens is, if you see, it's my observation that the lower middle class, they don't have the inclination to search for the forms or the process. And on the other hand, if you see the middle class, the educated class, what they feel is they will engage a agent and get it done. So unless we physically and we don't go on the ground level and apply, we will not get the benefit. Second thing is, as far as the gentleman had said that the citizen charter, at various places I have got the citizen charter put up. In Lonavala Municipal Corporation, if you see, the entire second floor is full of notice boards, and the citizen charter is there. Under right to information, you have the RTI, PIO's name, then the first appellate authority and the second appellate authority. So I feel that the citizens should also do due diligence, then only we can get the results.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Afzal. I think you are like an ambassador to this act, and you should certainly keep more and more people informed about what are the provisions and how exactly they can access services. Completely agree with you. Yeah, at the back.
Yeah, am I audible? Yeah. Yes, Swarat Parekar, I am a student at University of Mumbai, currently pursuing my master's. So I certificate was required. So I visited portal, and for 3 times I tried applying, but no avail. It was not accepting my application. But that's not a problem. After a lot of efforts, I got it cleared. The same effort I was doing right now, what these people are doing, resizing my documents. Okay, so what I feel is, while I'm resizing it to make it less than 2 MB, the document itself is getting distorted. That way what happens is, sometimes in the end, it ends up rejecting my application. Okay. Secondly, I think we are talking about masses or the citizens at large here. I am a tech savvy person, we are youth, all of us here, we are from university, but I feel like it should reach more and more people. If that's the case, this is something which we have to work on together. What if you, like the portal itself has a feedback link where we can actually put up our grievances, where you guys can ask what actually the problem is. Because in the end, I had to visit the local Aple Sarkar Kendra. That's the problem, right? Because I can afford it, but need not necessarily other person can afford this. I have to pay double. I have paid an application while I was applying on the portal on my own, and again when I was visiting Aple Seva Kendra, I have again visiting the yeah.
So I think the question really is that, the size of your documents. So for even a person like me, who considers himself to be fairly educated, when you apply, that time you don't know what is the size of my document. And then suddenly you say that you have to resize it and then make it. And I have to go to some other software, ship the document, and then again
Meanwhile, we have uploaded all the documents. We have paid the fees also, and we have all this received now.
also this.
Where is the applicant? तुम्हारा message पर आ रहा है सिर्फ mobile पर.
This is the service that you received?
No, this is the acknowledgement.
This is the acknowledgement.
Yeah. Now the online application has been sent to the designated officer.
So have those people been asked to wait to deliver the service or not wait?
Let's see if it's online, we will let you know. We will try.
Just one second. I just wanted to ask, I'm sorry to ask this question because some people might think that this was staged. So I just want to ask you.
We will upload it, we will resizing the
document shows it is not staged.
Good evening, gentlemen and dignitaries.
Just one
of
second. this is the question that the gentleman there asked. I'm just going to request.
Let me tell you that the portal that you currently see is a fairly old portal. This was created in 2015 and it has been developed over a period of time, so it has lots of patches. And we at the Commission also feel that we should actually launch what is called Aaple Sarkar version 2.0, which is a substantially improved version. So to that extent, we have been actually requesting the concerned departments in the government, and I'm very happy to share that the process is underway. The RFP has been prepared, and I think very soon we will actually have an agency to work on version 2.0. So in version 2.0, a number of features will be there, and I think current limitations on size of documents, etc., also might be addressed in the current version, in the next version.
Thank you. And also, I think if we can reduce the number of documents, because just now we saw for the income certificate there was something like 10 documents required. I know that you have under your you do business process engineering to reduce that number. I think that also is something that we could do. But can we might just have a round of applause, because now the successful uploading happened, acknowledgement has come. So, and the bigger round of applause has to come in after the service gets delivered. So just hold for some time.
30 days.
Just
Can I
wait for 30 days, yeah.
No. So hopefully we might get it just now. So we just
Okay.
sorry, just one second. Have you finished?
Yes, just a small follow-up. So, regarding the same, I have like applied in July 2030. So, like after visiting the website right now, I can see that I have applied in 2023 July, and still, although the stipulated time period is of 15 days, it says the application is rejected. See, I can understand my application is rejected, right? But when I click on rejection reason, I get nothing. So how I'm not getting clarified, just a thought, yeah.
It's a very, very valid issue that you have raised. In fact, we in the Commission get number of appeals where this precise reason is put forth. The applicants are not informed about the reason for rejection by the designated officer. And in such cases, we take a very strict view, and we at times penalize also the designated officer. So in case you were to approach us, would have actually redressed the situation to some extent.
Absolutely, sir. Okay.
So just to add, sir, there is appeal provision and you can make appeal. So we will go to the appeal demo requirement. It's just to, yeah, how to,
I think while that appeal demo is being made, I'm not as tech savvy as the young university guys here. Okay, you can all make out from my profile. But while all of you were talking, I tried to register on the portal, and believe you me, it happened within 1.5 minutes. Secondly, I am now trying to get a character certificate, which is one of the services that is, and it is asking me for 15 documents. I don't have those documents with me right now. But having said that, I think I just wanted to, since the mood was getting that it doesn't work, I think if all of you open your mobile phones and try, start with the registration, you'll all notice that you definitely get a registration within 2 minutes. So, thank you for sharing this portal with us.
Thank you so much. So this is Marathi. It's 2 minutes video.
सक्रिय झालेले असेल. अर्जातील ईमेल आयडी आणि मोबाईल नंबर तपासा. ईमेल आयडी. नमस्कार. आपले सरकार पोर्टलवरून सेवा प्राप्त करण्यासाठी केलेल्या अर्जासंदर्भात अपील कसे करावे हे समजून घेऊ. आपले सरकार पोर्टलवर लॉग इन करा. डॅशबोर्ड दिसेल. ज्या अर्जाच्या संदर्भात अपील करायचे आहे त्या अर्जासमोरच्या रकान्यातील अपील 1 या बटणावर क्लिक करा. अर्ज केल्यापासून प्रमाणपत्र प्राप्त होईपर्यंतचा विहित कालावधी पूर्ण होऊन सुद्धा प्रमाणपत्र प्राप्त झाले नसेल तर अपील करता यावे यासाठी अपील 1 हे बटन सक्रिय झालेले असेल. त्यावर क्लिक करा. अपील 1 चा अर्ज तुम्हाला दिसेल. अर्जातील ईमेल आयडी आणि मोबाईल नंबर तपासा. ईमेल आयडी आणि मोबाईल नंबरमध्ये बदल करायचा असल्यास तुम्ही हे तपशील अद्ययावत करू शकता. आता अपिलाचे कारण निवडा. अपिलासंदर्भात तुम्ही मागितलेले सहाय्य आणि तुम्हाला द्यायची असलेली अतिरिक्त माहिती तुम्ही येथे नोंदवू शकता. या रकान्याची शब्दमर्यादा लक्षात घ्या. तसेच ही माहिती भरणे बंधनकारक नाही हे लक्षात घ्या. अपेक्षित सेवेसाठी केलेल्या अर्जाच्या संदर्भात तुम्हाला काही कागदपत्रे जोडायची असल्यास तुम्ही अशा प्रकारची जास्तीत जास्त 5 कागदपत्रे जोडू शकता. एकापेक्षा जास्त कागदपत्रे जोडायची असल्यास ऍड डॉक्युमेंट्स वर क्लिक करा. अशा प्रकारे कागदपत्रे जोडल्यानंतर प्रतिज्ञापत्राच्या मजकुराचा स्वीकार करा आणि सबमिट अपील बटणावर क्लिक करा. अपील सक्सेसफुली सेंड असा मेसेज दिसू लागेल. अर्थात तुमची अपील सादर करायची प्रक्रिया पूर्ण झाली. तुमच्या नोंदणीकृत ईमेल आयडी वर तसेच मोबाईल क्रमांकावर अपील अर्जाची पोचपावती मिळेल. धन्यवाद.
Thank you. So you know how to make an appeal. I'm just going to be a little tongue in cheek here and then request all of you that why don't you log into the Aple Sarkar portal just now and get yourself registered. Because now that 3 commissioners are here, at least you're guaranteed that all of you are going to be registered. I'm quite sure it will work other times also. I'm just being a little tongue in cheek. I'm just going to request Mr. Kavi Arya you had one question, right? He's a professor from IIT. I'm going to request you to raise your question.
My name is Kavi Arya. I'm a professor from the Computer Science Department of IIT Bombay. I've been trying to log on to the portal and I'm not being successful. Right? I'm doing it from an iPhone, maybe that's the problem. You have an Android, maybe, or a laptop or whatever it is.
That's why I mentioned the iOS system is still not compatible.
No, but I'm doing it through a browser, so it should work. But I find the interface is very clunky, and you should not expect your user to be very sophisticated of documents and so on. I mean, that's what the computer is meant for. Let him upload whatever he wants and then you resize it and store it whichever way you want. So I feel that the interface and the software engineering in this leaves much to be desired. And I would request that in the new RFP that you put out, that you address all these issues and make sure that the customer is always right. Right? That don't say you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do that. It should be simple and intuitive and absolutely idiot-proof and well-engineered and well-designed. And this appears to be an L1 vendor. I feel that it's very important. It's very important to frame a technical bid which ensures that you get the response and the high-quality user design which a very important portal like this deserves. I think I'm very excited by this entire effort and the fact that this kind of service actually exists. Very excited, and we should do justice to it by having a really well-designed, well-architectured server and portal in place. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I entirely agree with your observations, and while in fact finalizing the RFP for Aapne Sarkar version 2.0, all these concerns would be duly addressed.
But till then what? No, but then.
The stipulated
This portal is working, so yeah, there could be some delays, but just use this portal. At the moment, start using this portal. And then as and when it improves, you will have to do that currently, right? So they will work on it and then can improve that system as well. But at the moment, start using the way it is.
Majority of the consumers, we are not knowing how to resize. Unless we are using Photoshop or something like that. There was one question which I've been getting is it has been 9 years since this act has been enacted, and as far as the commission is concerned, what are the number of complaints that have been received, and out of that, how many have been resolved?
So we come to that, but I think in the meanwhile you can raise your question. If you have the answer, you can probably answer this question.
As I mentioned to you, the commission is the third appellate stage. So the first appeal goes to the first appellate authority, then the second appellate authority, and only the final appeal comes to the commission. So the number of applications that come to us by way of third appeal are limited, not too many. For example, ever since I have taken over, I have been getting like maybe 1 or 2 appeals per month, not too many, because people don't go to that stage. Not too many people take the trouble of actually filing the third appeal. Maybe their grievances are addressed much before that.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, gentlemen. First of all, grateful to Mumbai Management Association and all the sponsors of today's show. Long overdue. I have been coming to this building. This is my 4th visit in the last 1 month, 30 days. And everybody is talking about, I have met deputy governors retired from the RBI. We are talking about self-regulatory organizations. It's a very good move that we are looking ahead. And let me just share you my experience. I'm a chartered accountant by profession. I'm going to Pune tomorrow for my 4th visit. There is a very nice website that we are all talking about, portal and all that. Pune Municipal Corporation. To get a property transferred, which was bequeathed to me on a will, for which stamp duty has been paid, the society has given me an NOC clearance. There are no dues outstanding. I have to visit, with due respect, I am not an anti anybody, but a small clerk who thinks I am stupid dodo, he thinks and he tells me, sir, मी तुमची फाईल घेऊ नाही शकते, कारण काय? आम्हाला परवानगी नाही, पोर्टल बंद आहे, आता ऑनलाइन पेमेंट नाही करू शकता. Third visit, at the end of the third visit, I lost my cool. I told him very politely, तुमच्या साहेबांना मी ईमेल पाठवली आहे, पुणे म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशनच्या वेबसाईटवर, सर्व very excellent website. But delivery at the grassroots level, there is either no training at the staff level on the shop floor, on the municipal board office, or two, they don't know the rules. And if he is doing that with me, I have my patience. मैं टॉरस हो भाई है nature. मगर अगर मैं लियो होता तो उधर उसको खा जाता. So the effort that the government is doing is fine, excellent. But what my humble request to all these senior people on the dais and of course our sponsors and various people is, sir, please make an effort to educate people on the shop floor. Please do that. Please make a note of this. It is very important. नहीं तो तुम कितना भी प्लान बनाओगे, उसका कोई मतलब नहीं है सर, हवा में बातें हैं. If you are seeing it, I humbly request you to do this. I have the patience, but I am telling you, if tomorrow it doesn't work, I am going to meet at Shivaji Nagar. अपॉइंटमेंट लेके रखा हूँ, सीधा जाऊंगा हडप से रोड ऑफिस से मेरू कैब लेके उसके ऑफिस में चला जाऊंगा, स्टाफ को जाऊंगा. आई डोंट लाइक टू शो माय स्ट्रेंथ. आई एम incidentally an ex-MSRDC senior accounts employee at the time of Mr. Gadkari when the flyovers were being built in Mumbai. I know how corruption is. I know how bureaucracy is. Luckily, I am a chartered accountant. I left MSRDC
देवाची कृपाने माझी ICAI ची डिग्री एवढी स्ट्रॉंग आहे. I really don't care. If I want to deliver my output, I will deliver it. I thought I would be able to deliver it to the government. Unfortunately, I failed. It was a frustrating experience. And I am seeing the same thing after 30 years. It's still the same. तो क्या हो रहा है सर? इतने बड़े देश में अगर if we want changes and we are 140 crore, it's high time things change.
So I don't know what your specific question was. I don't know if you got it.
The people at the ground grassroots level should be trained. They don't take the website nahi chalte. Be pude ya. He doesn't know the rules.
No, that means website nahi chalta is a genuine reason.
अरे मला सांगते तुम्ही पैसा भरायसाठी you cannot pay property tax. उसके बाद बोलते हैं पैसा लेने के बाद मैंने बोला मैं ऑनलाइन पेमेंट किया तुम अलाउ करते हो वेबसाइट पे फिर एप्लीकेशन फॉर वेगळा तुम्ही एप्लीकेशन करा मतलब भाई तुम वेगळा मत सिखाओ मैं जानने का बोलूं
ऐसे एक साल से मेरा पैसा भी हो रहा है सर 5 साल भी हो रहा है.
So that means one word, approach is there, but deployment is not there. So in the board office, you are creating a very good approach, but actually there is no deployment. Please accept it. Please accept it, sir.
I am saying this very humbly, sir. I don't mean to offend anybody. Please.
Right, got it. So I think your request is that while the act and the provisions are there, people on the ground need to be fully
aware of,
sensitized and aware. And what is it that the commission is doing to see that they become aware of these provisions of the act?
Incompetency.
Correct. If you give the money, if you don't give the money, they are not.
They are corrupt.
Accept it.
First of all, change of name, I believe, is a notified service. So, did you escalate the matter?
Yes, sir. I sent 2 emails, no reply.
Whom did you correspond with?
The commissioner of Pune Municipal Corporation and also the ward office. No replies. I have it here, sir. The email is not working. No. Email is working.
Just one second. So, as I mentioned in my presentation, the commission is empowered to take suo motu cognizance of any default. Now, if you, for example, were to write to him, he is the state commissioner for right to service for Pune. So, if you were to write to him, he'll immediately look into the matter and he'll set things right.
Thank you, sir. कल नहीं होगा तो उनको लिखूंगा.
I have noted your remarks. I have already noted your remarks. I'll definitely do that.
God bless you, sir.
ईमेल भेजने के बाद प्रिंट आउट देना पड़ता है ऑफिस में, वो नहीं दिया.
Lady out there who raised her hand.
Yes, sir. I have a few questions. So first of all, recently a report had come out with regards to how people benefiting from the welfare schemes of the government participated in voting, like whether they voted in favor of the political party that had decided to implement the welfare schemes or not. But what happened is, when they were asked whether or not the accessibility of these welfare schemes had become any greater or had increased in the past 5 years, they said no. So why is it so that the accessibility is not increasing? One. Two, sir, recently a hospital in Delhi had caught fire, and when it was analyzed at a legal and regulation level, it was found out that we have way too many authorities concerned, and because of which, like, even when the ground level people are aware of the problem, they are not able to take action. So what I want to know is that why is it that we have such very high standard and non-achievable ideals when it comes to policies, whereas the grassroots reality is very different from that.
Very good. Precisely, yes.
So I think basically what you're saying is that just now the commission said that there are almost more than 90% of the applications are resolved, and there are very few complaints about that. But you're saying that there was some survey which came out where people were asked what is the actual service delivery, and they said there's no improvement in the service delivery. So why is there a difference in the people's perception, and the official records. Is that your question? But so there could be several services, but we'll just specifically restrict today our discussion only to right to services. Are you referring to the country, or you're referring to the state of Maharashtra? Because they will be only answerable for Maharashtra, to be fair to them. So
These are countrywide.
yeah, so I think let's not get them involved in something that's beyond their jurisdiction. So, but your question is valid. I think we'll probably have to seek answers somewhere else. So I'm just going to ask somebody else at the back. Yeah.
I would like to second what my friend, the chartered accountant, was saying. You see, what happens is, especially the question of ignorantia juris which comes in terms of knowledge of law, and it's a two-sided thing. One is the issue with the lower staff in most of the departments. At the officer level and above, it's everyone knows everything. But when you file at the clerical or semi-clerical level, they really not even, and I'll tell you for a fact about these property transfer businesses. Now it's a very clear settled principle in law, and it's upheld by the Bombay High Court, several high courts in the country, as well as the Honorable Supreme Court, that Muslim and Christian wills under the Section 213 of the Succession Act does not need a probate. So the mere possession of a will, if it is unopposed, you can go and transfer your property. Go to the Tehsildar office and they say, sorry, get me a probate. So then we have to go back to the High Court, file a writ and get an order, which is quite cumbersome, and it's a waste of time.
We are digressing just now. So I think, just to my mind, I think the will and the transfers, I don't think come under the purview of the Right to Services Act. So it's a different question.
Non-acceptance of documents at the counter is my right. He has to accept it. He cannot say कि माझे portal चालत नाही म्हणजे मी घेणार नाही. Sorry.
Okay,
Not
so-
acceptable as a customer.
Right. Okay. So anyway, so I think that's
So the point being, the level of knowledge of law at the grassroots level needs to improve.
okay. Right.
Across
So it's more a suggestion from your side. I think. Yeah.
Immediately I went to superior officer मेरे पीछे दौड़ के आया पहले माले पे. तो साहब बोलता अरे ले लो. मैं बोला acknowledge दो. तो उसका साहब बोलता सर माझ्यावर भरोसा आहे ना. तुम्ही पुढच्या वेळी या मी तुम्हाला तुमच्या नावावर रसीद करून देते. No payment काय नाही. तुम्ही फाईल करून टाका. Now if this is the officer can tell why the clerk was fooling around with me.
Right,
Sorry.
okay.
I'm telling you very humbly.
Sure.
I don't want to complain it.
Yeah.
I will resolve it. I will resolve it.
Okay, I think we just have to get some more people to also. Yeah, at the back. Thank you.
Yeah, hi, I'm trying to register on the site, so it's not registering, but what is more shocking is I just downloaded the app and it's saying somebody has already registered. That's shocking. So can someone help me?
L1. This is all related to L1.
No, I don't think. I think there must be some legitimate reason why it might have happened. So let's not just junk it like that. But I think we can just check it out why that's the case. I don't want to hazard a guess as to why it might have happened. But I've registered in the past and it's worked, and we know of examples of that.
Forward password.
But
We tried that also, it's coming back to the same thing.
So why don't we just check it out later on?
Check it out.
Or you can just show it to him,
Yeah, right.
and then we can probably have that as like demonstration to see whether it works or not.
But the application which we applied and which we are trying, it is processing. Now the citizen has got 3 messages so far. तुम्हाला काय आले मेसेज किती आले सगळ्यांना सांगा.
I just received a message that congratulations, your application number so and so has been approved and digitally signed certificate is ready. Do visit your My Seva Kendra to collect it.
Now, we are just going to see why this is happening with her registration, just as a live demonstration.
I am C.A. Ramesh Prabhu, Chairman Maharashtra Society Welfare Association. I really want to compliment you because for the first time, so many commissioners, I am from the bottom of my heart that this type of awareness you are trying to create, I think they deserve the round of applause. We can always go on making complaints, but there is an authority who is coming and telling that any problems come to me. And you are trying to resolve it. Yes. And another suggestion, Maharashtra Society Welfare Association wants to create more and more awareness. And that is how we join hands And I want to compliment Mumbai first for taking this initiative. And as 6 zones you will have, divisions, I would be very happy to have online or offline programs of RTS and give me that, what you call, support, and we'll have number of programs. Awareness is the only medium by which this RTS can be made wonders. And you said once in one appeal you are getting. Let me tell you, the more and more awareness you create, your appeal will be flooded. So far, commissioners were not keen maybe to get more and more. You are keen in getting appeals. So I compliment you once again, and we'll see that a lot of difference in the lives of the common man is done. And I really compliment from the bottom of my heart each one of you.
Thank you. Yeah, I think I just want to also, because the act, the way it is framed, and all the 3 commissioners just now spoke about it, they are on our side. Just remember this, they are on our side, they are there, and they've said that in so many words. They are there to protect our interests. They are not there to protect the interests of the government. They are there to protect the interests of the citizens.
It's a sound part, just something like our logo is your service is our duty. आपकी सेवा हमका service दे दो आप. So congratulations to the person who has got the service.
So now a bigger round of applause, because finally the certificate has come. The server about 1 hour back. Every month keep this certificate. Yeah, you have a question. I think we'll probably be in a position to take just another 2 questions, and we'll have to stop.
Thank you for the introduction. Mohammed Afzal, you were the first one to introduce RTS to all the cooperative housing society members that are about it, and that's what made me come today. My main question is, since we, Ramesh Prabhuji and Mahasev and all, we are, he deals mainly in cooperative housing society matters, cooperative department. So the level is that from deputy registrar, then district DDR, and then comes the DJR, regional joint registrar, and then comes commissioner pool. So RTS is applicable to all this authority. I want to hear from their. Yes. I have checked the website. In that it shows only 2 points are mentioned. That is, one is conveyance, and I think one is mentioned registration. When you click the cooperative department services. So that's why my question here gives replies to your any of our complaints and all the highlights. They are to DGR. So as per citizen charter, they are supposed to give us a reply within 15 days. So after 15 days, if we are not getting any reply from the DR's office, Deputy Registrar's office, or any of these 3 levels. So can we file an application for RTS in this? Sir. Citizen charter is applicable to them.
Actually, at the cost of repetition, let me tell you that the Citizens Charter actually is prepared under an earlier act, which is 2005 Act. What we spoke about today pertains to 2015 Act, which guarantees right to services. So, under this Act, a service has to be notified for the Commission to get jurisdiction. Unless and until the service is notified, we cannot step in and ask the concerned department. So, as far as Cooperation Department is concerned, as per my information, there are 5 services which they have notified. There are 5 services. The first service which they have notified is registration of cooperative society. This is notified service. Similarly, if somebody wants to make any amendment to the bylaws of a society, then that's also a notified service. Similarly, there are सावकारी व्यवसायासाठी परवाना देणे, सावकारी व्यवसायासाठी परवाना नूतनीकरण देणे, then सहकारी गृह निर्माण संस्थांचे मानवी अभिहस्तांतरण, deemed conveyance basically. So these are 5 services which have been notified. So if your complaint pertains to any of these 5 services, you are most welcome to bring it to our notice. We'll be very happy to intervene immediately.
Sir, then one humble request. dereliction of duty by these all officers that I mentioned, the cooperative department, please make it see to that it is also it comes under the notice.
Dereliction of duty cannot be a service.
Yeah, but it's the same, right? Like if it is not notified, you are saying, right? Even they are not doing the service, right? So can we add this?
How can we have it? That's your question.
For example, if you were to approach us, we will, since you have approached us, we will write to the concerned department. We will be writing to the ACS Corporation and we'll tell him that this citizen has approached us and this is her complaint and kindly look into it. But you can also directly approach the Additional Chief Secretary of Corporation and complain to him about whatever you have observed on the ground.
They have done that already. They have done that already. In fact, the transfer delay that you mentioned, even that is a toothless tanker, you know, regarding the services given by the officials.
Did you approach the Commissioner Corporation or did you approach the Additional Chief Secretary Corporation?
I have met all this authority, including the cooperative minister, once a party.
Can you share basically your complaint with us?
It's a two, I mean, I won't be, 10 minutes I won't be able to tell all the details. But I think Rajesh Kumar IS was, I think is the concerned person, right?
He was,
yeah.
He is no longer there, but
yes.
In case you can share with us whatever complaint you have lodged, then we can look into it and we can see if there is something that we can do at our level. So although strictly speaking, it does not fall under our jurisdiction, but still we can try to help you out.
So I have to do it via online or can I come to your department directly or give my evidence or whatever submission? I'm asking later on, not today, later on. Can I come to your department and submit?
You can come to my office. My office is on 7th floor, New Administrative Building.
Got it. Thank you, sir. Thank you for that.
So I think we'll stop now. It's 6:30. I don't want to take. Sorry, you have one.
खूप छान उपक्रम करताय तुम्ही, हा सर्वांबरोबर पोचताय त्याबद्दल तुमचा आभार तुमचे. दुसरी गोष्ट, ऑनलाईन मी जेव्हा अप्लाय करत होतं उत्पन्नाच्या दाखल्यासाठी तेव्हा मी तेवढा सक्सेस नाही झालो. मॅन्युअली जेव्हा मी ट्राय केली 8 मेला मी ॲप्लिकेशन केलेलं आहे. 8 मेला मला तारीख दिली होती, 4 जून तारीख दिली होती. मी कालही गेलो होतो ऑफिसला, तर मला सांगितलं अजून तयार नाही, तुम्ही नंतर या. आणि हे ऑफिसमध्ये देणं खूप गरजेचं होतं आणि तारीखवरती तारीखच येते सर. तुम्ही काय करू?
तुम्ही तुमची जी तुमच्याकडे जी माहिती आलेली आहे आणि तुमच्याकडे त्यामध्ये ऍप्लिकेशनची ID पण असणार, युनिक ऍप्लिकेशन ID. If you share that ID with us, we'll immediately look into it.
Okay.
Which office are you referring to?
BRC मधून मी अप्लाय केलं. BRC साठी मला हवं आहे आणि ऑनलाईन मी केलं होतं. ऑनलाईन केलं.
ऑफिस म्हणजे मुंबई सबर्बच्या आहे, मुंबई सिटीच्या आहे, मुंबई सबर्बच्या आहे ना? कुठला तहसीलदार आहे? कुर्ला ना, ठीक आहे. आमच्या उपसचिव इथे आहेत. तुम्ही त्यांच्या तपशील घ्या, त्यांची युनिक ID, त्यांच्या स्क्रीनशॉट घ्या किंवा आपल्याकडे मागून घ्या. विल हॅव इट सॉर्टेड.
ठीक आहे, थँक्यू.
मला पण असं करता येईल, म्हणजे हा एक भाग झाला, कारण की तुम्हाला अर्जन्सी आहे म्हणून त्यांनी तुम्हाला तातडीची व्यवस्था सांगितलेली आहे. परंतु त्याच्यामध्ये तुम्हाला अपील पण करता येण्यासारखं आहे आणि तुम्हाला तक्रारही करता येईल की माझी सर्व्हिस मुदतीमध्ये मला प्राप्त झाली नाही.
तुम्हाला ऑनलाईन स्टेटस दिसतच नाहीये. अपील तेव्हा करेन की काहीतरी रिजेक्ट किंवा काहीतरी अंडर प्रोसेस, काहीतरी स्टेटस काहीच दिसत नाही ऑनलाईन.
नाही, एक लक्षात ठेवा, तुम्ही जेव्हा मी सादरीकरण केलं ना तेव्हा मी स्पष्ट सांगितलं होतं की जर विहित मुदतीच्या आत तुम्हाला कोणताही रिस्पॉन्स समजला नाही तरी सुद्धा तुम्ही अपील करू शकता. तुम्ही पहिला अपील करू शकताय कारण की तुम्हाला रिस्पॉन्स आलाच नाहीये आणि याचा जो विहित कालावधी होता तो संपलेला आहे. तो तुम्ही तातडीने अर्ज अपील केला पाहिजे. पण ज्या अर्थी तुम्ही आज कमिशनचे अधिकाऱ्यांच्या समोर तुम्ही अशा पद्धतीने तुमचे गाऱ्हाणे मांडलेले आहे, आम्ही त्याची दखल घेतो आणि आम्ही यामध्ये लक्ष घालतो.
So I think I just want to thank everybody today for coming in such large numbers on a working day. Before I request the master ceremonies to close, I just want to thank on my behalf Mr. Manu Kumar Srivastava, Mr. Ganesh and Mr. Dilip Singh to come in and have this conversation. हा जो संवाद होता फार महत्त्वाचा होता की त्यांच्याकडून काय आपल्याला सेवा प्राप्त होऊ शकते आणि आपला काय हक्क आहे हे आपल्याला आज समजलेलं आहे. आणि माझी विनंती आहे की is there any way in which we can have a regular forum of this kind where citizens are able to voice their complaints, voice their difficulties to you, and you can improve upon those?
In my presentation, I started by thanking Mumbai First for this reason only. This is very necessary that we have a dialogue with citizens, and any citizen who has any grievance of this kind related to any notified service is most welcome to actually approach us.
And now you know that the commission sits here in Mumbai on the 7th floor of the new administrative building opposite Mantralaya. Okay, so in case you have difficulty, you can meet them, but try to go through the procedure under the Aapne Sarkar portal. If it doesn't work, only then you can approach them directly.
And the idea of meeting all of you today was to basically create awareness about the act and also about the existence of this commission. Because very often people don't know that there is a law like this. And as Sanjay mentioned, we are for citizens. The commission exists for citizens only. We are not for the departments. Ultimately, the commission does not provide service. Commission's job is to ensure that the officers who are responsible for providing services provide services within given time. And if they don't do it, then they are penalized. So, if there is any default of any nature, then it is for you to invoke the law, file your appeals, and in case there is any difficulty, approach us. So, if at the end of the day, if all of you go back with this thought that there is a commission like this, which can be approached in case there is any default in providing a notified service, then our job is done. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Just before we close the event, I'll just finish and then I'll pass on. Just give us. So just before we close the event, thank you so much. We have a vote of thanks formally. Just three quick things we wanted to share. Mumbai Happenings starts at 4 o'clock with tea, and then 4:30 the actual event starts. And this can be an event where a lot of what is happening in the city can actually be shared. So one of our invitations is Mumbai Happening to be a place where you all also regularly meet, we check in, we share, and this becomes the place where Mumbai is really, really happening. So that one. Second is we made some posters. We had combined movies with the acts. And do look at them when they go, because we thought movies are popular and some movies, Bollywood movies, represent certain acts and that. And third, just acknowledging all the volunteering that has gone on with a lot of young people. Early days we'd have a lot of elders around, but now we have an intergenerational group here. So all the young people in the house, make some noise. Cheers for being there. So I want to invite now for the vote of thanks Mumbai First, the CEO of Mumbai First, Satish Ji, for being a moving spirit and making this happen. So let's
So I think before Satish says, I think I forgot to mention this. This Mumbai Happenings is, this is under Mumbai Happenings platform, is a part of Mumbai First. Here what we want to do is we want to talk about whatever is happening in the city of Mumbai. So the next one that we are going to talk about is, we're going to talk about the Indore experience. Because Indore, as some of you know, has been declared as the cleanest city in the country. So we are going to ask them as to how they got citizens involved in cleaning up the city. So I'm going to request all of you or any of you who is interested to come for that event also. And we'll be holding such 4 or 5 events every year under Mumbai Happenings. Okay.
Do call BMC commissioner in that. Do invite BMC commissioner for that.
No, not the commissioner, the ward officer.
No, even the commissioner.
No, commissioner will not, he will not read that. The ward officer. The ward officer.
Good evening to all.
As today's session concludes, on behalf of Mumbai First, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to our eminent speakers, Mr. Manu Kumar Srivastava, the Chief Commissioner, Mr. Baldev Singh, the State Commissioner, Konkan Revenue Division, Mr. Dilip Shinde, the State Commissioner for Pune Division. Thank you all for the power pack, very good interactive power pack session. Let's give a round of applause. I'd also like to extend a warm gratitude to our Executive Board member, Sanjay Obale, for graciously moderating today's session. We are all grateful to you all for providing such rich insights, guidance and expertise to the panel, introducing this Maharashtra State Right to Service Act 2015. Further, this gathering was made possible through this collaborative efforts of esteemed organizations such as Blue Ribbon Movement, Abhishek Kapoor, Mr. Chetan Yadav, the President of Bombay Management Association, Mr. Ramesh Prabhu from the Maharashtra Society Welfare Association, and also the Mumbai Press Club. We are also grateful to Mr. Prakash Rane from ABM Knowledgeware Limited for their support, collaboration and commitment for the entire Mumbai Happenings session. Thank you, Mr. Rane. I would like to thank all the participants for attending today's event. Your presence here really is appreciated, and this has brought immense value to this panel discussion. Thank you all.
I'm not